Good evening. I'm Wayne Hales, President and Publisher of the Courier Eco Latino newspaper. Welcome to our inaugural Lift Her Up Awards. Tonight, we recognize women of color in the Tri-City for their strength and perseverance, who through their profession encourage, inspire, and elevate other women to reach their potential. Throughout history, women of color have played a pivotal role in every movement that has resulted in positive changes in our society. Most have received little or no recognition for their participation. First Lady Michelle Obama said it best when she explained, "You don't have to be in a history book to make a contribution to our country." She urged us to not only celebrate African American heroes such as Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman, whose contributions to the improvement of the country are depicted in many history books, but to also honor the women who live and work among us every day with a spirit that is uniquely their own, and who continue to write history every single day in our community. For the next hour, we invite you to join us as we lift up 15 women who, through their service and positive contributions to our community, encourage, inspire, and elevate others. These are women who are planting seeds for trees whose shade they shall never see.
Mrs. Carolyn Gauls Randolph is now serving her second two-year term as South Atlanta Regional Director of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Incorporated. Initiated in the Alpha Psi Omega chapter in Wilmington, North Carolina, Mrs. Randolph has been active in our illustrious sorority for more than 36 years. Currently, she is a member of the Gamma Tau Omega chapter in Columbus, Georgia, and is recognized as both a life member and a Silver Star. Throughout her years of service in the sorority, Mrs. Randolph has held a number of positions on the local, regional, and international levels. While formerly a member of the Beta Iota Omega chapter, Mrs. Randolph served as a graduate advisor for the Alpha Psi chapter at North Carolina A&T State University and the Gamma Tau Omega. She has served as president 2 terms, first vice president, second vice president, house treasurer, chaplain, connection committee chairman, scholarship committee chairman, and graduate advisor committee member. She holds the distinction of serving as the first president of the chapter's foundation, Sisters Inc. Incorporated in 2005. At the South Atlantic region, SAR, she previously served as the Cluster 4 coordinator, providing oversight of 21 chapters in Georgia and Florida, a regional leadership team member, the 57th South Atlantic Regional Conference chairman, the SAR representative to the International Nominating Committee 2 terms, and 2-term Boule Luncheon Committee member. On the international level, she is the Directorate Liaison to the International Connection Committee and chairman of the Chartering Revision Committee. Previously, she served as a member of the Reinstatement Task Force Committee, the Boule Sergeant at Arms Committee, member for 4 years, and chairman of the International Nominating Committee under the leadership of former international president, attorney Carolyn House Stewart, and Dorothy Buchanan Wilson. An educator by profession, she is a phenomenal presenter who has sought workshops in 8 of 14 regions at the 2 Boules and leadership seminars. Furthermore, she has been assigned the workshop facilitator role at both regional and international conferences. She can often be heard speaking at programs for Founders Day, membership intake, and milestone membership celebrations. Mrs. Randolph is actively involved in the Columbus community, to include the ministries of the 4th Street Missionary Baptist Church. Her ministry involvement at the 4th Street includes co-teaching the Christian Family Church School class with her husband, Chester, chairman of the Women's Ministry, a member of the Deacons' Wives Christian Education, and the Pastoral Relations Ministries. As a woman of strong faith, she inspires audiences when she speaks at churches for Women's Day and other occasions. Her civic engagement includes being recognized twice by the Courier Eco Latino newspaper in Columbus. She was first selected as an inaugural recipient of the Who's Who for African Americans and Hispanics. She then received the newspaper's highest honor, the Publisher's Award for Community Service. In July 2019, Mrs. Randolph is proud of receiving the 2018 Georgia Legislative Women's Caucus Servant Leadership Award, which was presented to her by the Georgia State Representative Carolyn Hewley of District 136. Professionally, Mrs. Randolph is a retired educator who currently serves as a clinical supervisor for the Mathematics Woodrow Wilson Fellows and is an adjunct adjunct instructor at the Columbus State University. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in secondary mathematics from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. Also, a Master of Science degree from North Carolina A&T State University and an Education Specialist degree from Columbus State University. She and her husband Chester have 3 adult daughters, one who is the member of the sorority, and 3 precious grandchildren. Our second honoree is Audrey Boone Tillman, Executive Vice President and General Counsel of AFLAC Incorporated. In her position, Audrey directs AFLAC's legal division and functions related to compliance, government regulations, federal regulations, state government regulations, corporate communications, and the Office of Corporate Secretary, including oversight functions of the General Counsel and compliance offices at AFLAC Japan, where the company earns more than 75% of its revenues. Audrey joined AFLAC in 1996 as a member of the legal department and was promoted to vice president in 2000. Her work as legal counsel to the Human Resource Division led her to the promotion to Senior Vice President of Human Resources in August of 2001, and then to Executive Vice President of Corporate Services in 2008. She was promoted to General Counsel in May of 2014. During her tenure, the company received multiple honors, including Fortune's Most Admired Companies for the 20th time, Ethisphere's World's Most Ethical Companies for 15 consecutive years, and Bloomberg's Gender Equality Index for the 2nd consecutive year. AFLAC has been recognized by Black Enterprise magazine as one of its 40 best companies for diversity 11 times and has appeared 21 times in Latina Style magazine's annual list of the 50 best companies for Latinas to work in the U.S. Audrey has received numerous awards and accolades during her career at AFLAC. Most recently, she was named the Black Enterprise magazine's Most Powerful Women in Business list for the 3rd consecutive year and the Women's Inc. Top Corporate Counsel list in 2019. She also received the Meritorious Public Service Medal awarded by the Department of the United States Army in 2020. Before joining AFLAC, Audrey served as an associate professor at North Carolina Central University of Law. Prior to that, she worked in the private practice and also served as a federal judicial law clerk in the U.S. District Court for North Carolina. Audrey received a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and a Juris Doctor from the University of Georgia Law School. She is a member of the state bars of Georgia, North Carolina, and the District of Columbia. Audrey serves on the board of directors for Equifax Inc. and is involved in many local initiatives to improve the community in and around the Columbus, Georgia area. She is also a Diamond Life member of the Columbus Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. The Honorable Carolyn Fleming Hewley, Georgia House of Representatives, District 136. Representative Carolyn Fleming Hewley was elected in 1992 to the Georgia House of Representatives. She is the first African American to serve as Minority Whip of the Georgia House of Representatives from 2003 to 2018. Currently, Hewley is a member of the Rules Committee, Appropriations, Health Subcommittee, and the Insurance Committees. She is a former chair of the Legislative and Congressional Reappointment Committee and the Women's Legislative Caucus. She currently co-chairs the Voting Rights Caucus and serves as a member of the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus and Working Families Caucus. Carolyn is now in her 14th term representing District 136. Representative Hewley is committed to fighting for all Georgians and has dedicated her service to her children and family issues. She is known for developing real solutions for real people through her work and education, healthcare, enhanced job opportunities, and public safety. She has sponsored numerous bills to include anti-bullying legislation, legislation to keep widows of veterans in their homes, and legislation to keep sexual offenders out of school zones, anti-stalking legislation, and compensation resolutions to compensate constituents who were wrongly convicted. Exceptional community service and leadership is the norm for Representative Hewley. She's a member of the Franchise Missionary Baptist Church, where she serves as chair of trustees. In 2013, Honorary Chair Tuskegee and Morehouse Football Classic, the Honorary Chair Links Day at the Capitol 2019, and other key memberships include the Lower Chattahoochee Area Workforce Investment Board, Vice Chair Board of Directors of Sisters Inc., Life member and Silver Star member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Inc., and the Lynx Inc. of Columbus, Georgia chapter. She is celebrated for developing, mentoring, and scholarship programs where she uses the resources of the community, legislative office, and her State Farm Insurance Agency to help young people turn their college dreams into reality. Danielle Forte is a proud native of Columbus, Georgia, and the mother of a teenage daughter. The product of a military family, Danielle's father was a retired lieutenant colonel and her mother a retired community advocate. After graduating with honors from Hardaway High School, Danielle attended Spelman College, magna cum laude, and Emory Law School in Atlanta, where she remained and practiced law for several years. In 2009, she returned to Columbus to practice law in the public sector. After serving as assistant district attorney in 2018, Danielle ran in a special election and won the position of Muskogee County Clerk of Superior State Courts. In her current position as Clerk of Superior and State Courts, Danielle manages 40 employees and an annual department budget and revenues totaling over $6 million. On November 6, 2018, Danielle, with the help of various endorsements such as Georgia Police Benevolent Association, was elected Clerk of Superior and State Courts by a landslide, winning every voting precinct in Columbus. On November 13, 2018, Danielle took the oath of office and hit the ground running, immediately implementing strategies for a successful division by targeting employee morale, customer service, and constituent education. Danielle promised to conduct an office that was fortified, fair, and focused. She has delivered on that promise by developing events that educate constituents, delivering services that inform the community about important issues, and demanding fairness in policies and procedures that impact her constituents. Immediately upon taking office, Danielle successfully developed and executed programs, activities that elevated the clerk's office to a new level of community commitment and involvement. Although the challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic temporarily restricted the community outreach and activities from the clerk's office, Danielle and her staff worked overtime to ensure that services and duties to the public were not interrupted and adhered to code, regulations, and most updated rulings from the courts, including the Georgia Supreme Court. She and her team continue to work diligently to ensure court services provided by the offices are reinstated within the pandemic guidelines, as well as outlining future community events. Danielle enthusiastically supports her community and those in need. She serves on the board of the Urban League of Greater Columbus, Tree of Life Healthcare and Partnership in Caring Youth Advisory Board. She recently completed the new clerk 40-hour training certification, officially entered into the minutes as the court mandated by law. Danielle's legacy from her beloved parents, who died in 2020, is the love of country instilled in her from her father's military service and love of service to the community from her mother's service as a community development advocate. She understands community and hard work go hand in hand and is honored to serve you as your Clerk of Superior State Courts. Evelyn Mimi Woodson serves as a member of the Columbus City Council representing citizens of District 7. A native of Montai, Puerto Rico, she lived in Columbus for only 2 years before being elected to office, thus making history by becoming the first Latino to be elected to the Columbus, Georgia City Council. She has faithfully represented the citizens of District 7 for 26 years and continues to be devoted, intensely dedicated, and passionate about her service to Columbus, Georgia citizens. This is what she believes representation is all about. Councilor Woodson is credited with helping to bring more than $412 million into capital projects to District 7. Her commitment and mission are to ensure public safety, improved mobility, economic development, and creating an age-friendly community within District 7. Mimi's exemplary political representation and collaboration with political and community leaders has led to thousands of new jobs in Columbus, to include Total Systems credit card processing, TSYS, Aflac, insurance companies, expansions, and Columbus South business expansions. She has been instrumental in new and affordable housing, recreation facilities restoration, redevelopment of Uptown Columbus, urban whitewater rafting, zip line, Victory Drive Walmart, and the new National Infantry Museum, to name a few. Councilor Mimi Woodson has helped to make Columbus, Georgia a better place to live, work, and play. She proudly served 15 years in the United States Army and is a strong supporter of soldiers and military families. She has been an active member of more than 20 civic-based organizations, including Making Columbus a Better Place to Live, i.e. organizations such as CAD, or Columbus Against Drugs, Winterfield on the Move, American Red Cross, South Columbus Revitalization, Columbus, Georgia Municipal Association, National League of Cities, Community Advancement of Past, Present, and Hello or Hispanic Elected Officials, a national organization, Georgia Association of Latino Elected Officials, State of Georgia Commission on Hispanic Affairs, the Tri-City Latino Association, Community Warriors, American Legion, and Tri-City Latino Association. The city councilor has won many awards and honors and has been recognized for her hard work and dedication as a public servant. Some of her many awards and honors include the Columbus State University Civic Engagement Award, the Jack Brinkley Senior Lifetime Service Award, Hispanic Chamber of Congress 50 Most Influential Latinos in Georgia, the Courier Eco Latino Who's Who Award, the William H. Spencer High School Generosity in Service Award, Spencerian Service Award, Davis Broadcasting Women of Excellence Award, the Courier Eco Latino Community Service Award, the Ernestine Aurora Mack Service Award to Mankind, Rainbow Push Coalition Women on the Rise Award, Women of Action Harold Lefty Incarnation Community Service Award, the Mundo Hispanic Atlanta Distinguished Person of the Year, Georgia Pretty Favorite City Leader Award, and the Panamanian Association of Columbus, Georgia Mother of the Year. Her greatest satisfaction, however, comes from helping others and giving back to her community and ensuring that citizens are represented with an equal voice. She gets great satisfaction out of empowering people and showing them that if they believe in God and themselves, anything is possible. Councilor Woodson has 2 adult children and 5 grandchildren. Janice R. Granville, Vice President and General Manager of Davis Broadcasting Incorporated. Janice Granville joined the Davis Broadcasting team in June of 2010 and currently serves as Vice President and General Manager of the Columbus, Georgia market with day-to-day oversight of the 6 radio properties in the market. Prior to her current role, she served as Business Manager and in-house counsel for Davis Broadcasting, responsible for both the Columbus and Atlanta markets' accounts receivable, accounts payable, human resources, payroll, and internal legal affairs. Granville currently works with each department in Davis Broadcasting to help managers meet department goals, manage effectively and efficiently. In continuing the legacy of DBI established in 1986, Janice cultivates a work environment where information is shared, expectations are clear, and creative ideas are explored and acted on. By continuing DBI's mission of moving forward together, Janice requires that each radio station property remain a source of information and a catalyst for progress in the Columbus, Georgia community, while maintaining top ratings and loyal, talented live on-air staff. Under Janice Granville's leadership, the Columbus market has continued to raise thousands of dollars for surrounding communities and host impactful annual events. Prior to Davis Broadcasting, Janice Granville served as an assistant district attorney in the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Janice Granville is currently barred in the state of Georgia to practice law and remains active in her local community, sitting on several local boards, including the Pastoral Institute, 4th Street Daycare Academy, and the Georgia Association of Broadcasters. As a wife and mother of 2 preteen sons, Janice places a priority on family and faith. She is an encourager, a soccer mom, and a believer to whom that much is given, much is also required. Luke 12:48. Ms. Granville holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science from Spelman College and a Juris Doctorate from the University of Georgia. Jackie Screws has over 34 years of higher educational experience and has worked at both the university and community college levels. She began her educational career as a financial aid counselor for Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama. In 1989, she transitioned to the Alabama Community College System, the ACCS, and joined Spark State Technical College, now a campus of Wallace Community College, Dothan, as a counselor for the college's Title III grant. From that position, Screws worked her way up through through the ranks in student affairs, serving in numerous progressive leadership roles. From 2000 to 2018, she served as the Dean of Student Affairs and Dean of the Sparks Campus for Wallace Community College, Dothan. On February 1, 2018, Screws became the 6th president of the Chattahoochee Valley Community College, CVCC, in Phoenix City, Alabama. Since that time, she has embraced the operations of college and has actively engaged internal and external stakeholders in an effort to cultivate a meaningful relationship to support the advancement of the college's mission. She is the first African American to be named permanently to the position of president at CVCC, and she is proud to have this distinction in her home community. In her administrative role at Wallace Community College, Dothan, Screws had managerial oversight of the functions of admissions, records, registration, financial aid, recruiting, the federal TRIO programs, student support services, talent search, and Upward Bound. Also, athletics, counseling, testing student activities, and disability support services. Additionally, Screws served as the college's liaison for student discipline and compliance officer for the Title IV and other civil rights issues. During her 32-year tenure at the Alabama Community College system, Screws has been actively involved in numerous activities and has shared her time and talents with a myriad of statewide communities and initiatives. In this regard, she is currently president of the ACCS Presidents Association. Additionally, she has served as the vice president of the ACCS Presidents Association, past president of Alabama Community College Association, and currently serves as a member of the organization's executive committee, past president of the Alabama Deans of Student Affairs Association, and member of the All-Alabama Academic Team Planning Committee, just to name a few. She has also been recognized as Administrator of the Year for the Alabama Community College System, Student Affairs Office of the Year by Alabama Deans of Student Affairs Association in 2004 and 2018, and as a recipient of the Sisters Inc. Rosa Parks Women of Courage Award in 2019. Screws has served as an active board member for a myriad of educational and community organizations, such as the Boys and Girls Club of Lake Eufaula, the Eufaula-Barbour County Chamber of Commerce, the United Way of Barbour County, Leading Barbour, the Career and Technical Education Task Force of Eufaula City Schools, and the Russell County Committee for Alabama's Bicentennial. Currently, she is a member of the Phoenix City Rotary Club and serves as a member of the Board of Directors for the United Way of Chattahoochee Valley, Synovus Bank, East Alabama, and the Southern Association of Colleges and School Commissions of Colleges, the SACSCOC. Screws is also a resource member of the East Alabama Chamber and the Columbus Chamber, where she serves as a member of the Columbus 2025 Talented Education People Committee and the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce Education TAG Committee. Screws is a first-generation college student from a disadvantaged background who has earned a bachelor's degree in business administration and a master's degree of education in student personnel administration, both from Tuskegee University. She is a resilient professional woman who believes in education, and she strives to provide all students and the community quality educational services to enhance their quality of life. In her spare time, Screws loves to watch HGTV, shop, travel, and spend time with her family. She has also devoted much of her time to her church, the Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church in Pittsview, Alabama, and her sorority, the Columbus Metropolitan Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Screws has been married to her husband, Larry Screws, for 32 years, and they have two beautiful daughters, Kendra Alexis and Morgan Sinclair. A 30-year veteran of the Columbus Police Department, Joyce Dent Fitzpatrick was recently promoted to Assistant Chief of Police, the first African-American female to hold that position in the history of the department. Dent Fitzpatrick in 2001 was also the first African-American female in the history of the department to be named Officer of the Year. Hired in 1987, she served in the Patrol Division, Special Operations, Motor Squad, and prior to her current assignment, the Investigative Bureau as Sex Crimes Detective. Her community involvement includes Crisis Intervention Training Instructor for the State of Georgia, Adjunct Criminal Justice Instructor, Chattahoochee Valley Community College, Guest Instructor at West Georgia Police Academy, Immediate Past Vice President for the State of Georgia Police Benevolent Association, member Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Gamma Tau Omega Chapter, past chairperson for the Muskogee County Attendance Panel. Toya Tucker is a native of Columbus, Georgia, and was elected to the Columbus City Council on June 9, 2020. The essence of her life's journey has been to serve people by volunteering and mentoring. She joined the United States Air Force on March 19, 1997, and medically retired in September of 2009 after 12 years of active duty service. She was stationed at Langley Air Force Base in Hampton, Virginia, Gunter Air Force Base in Montgomery, Alabama, Patch Barracks in Stuttgart, Germany, and Elmendorf Air Force Base in Anchorage, Alaska. In March of 2010, Toya returned to Gunter AFB to start her new career as Systems Administrator for the Military Entrance Processing Station, the MEPS. While at the MEPS, the accessibility to aid so many teenagers with their military career paths helped determine her next goal of working in the nonprofit field to help mentor teens. In 2014, she received her bachelor's in psychology from the University of Phoenix. Along with her extensive work experience, she was previously an active board member for the Family Center of Columbus, which provides services to both children and adults via programs such as the Big Sisters and Big Brothers, family counseling, and volunteer income tax assistance, VITA. She is a former Columbus, Georgia branch National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP Youth Advisor. She currently serves as executive member at large on the NAACP Columbus, Georgia branch, and on the Muskogee County Democratic Party as post committee member for District 4 and Events and Education Chairwoman. Toya is an active member of the Eddie L. Roberts American Legion Post 333. Her extensive work in community inspired Toya to found One Columbus United Incorporated, a social action organization committed to addressing conditions or forces which are destructive to the quality of life of citizens in Columbus, Georgia, and surrounding counties. Tucker, a graduate of Carver High School, has a Bachelor's of Science degree in psychology, University of Phoenix, October 2014, and is currently working towards her master's in public administration from Columbus State University. She is married to Christopher Tucker, and together they have 3 daughters and 2 sons. Cornisha McGill Brown, the 27th National President of Jack and Jill of America, Incorporated. On August 23, 2020, Cornisha McGill Brown was elected as the 27th National President of Jack and Jill of America, Incorporated, as the 44th National Convention. Prior to being elected as the National President, Cornisha served as the 2017 to 2019 Regional Director of the Southeastern Region. Cornisha also served as the 2015 to 2017 Southeastern Regional Secretary, Regional Nominating Committee member for 2 terms, and as the Regional Chair of Rules and Regulations. Cornisha was recognized as the Chapter President of the Year by the Southeastern Region at the 29th Biennial Mothers Regional Conference. She has been a member of the Columbus, Georgia chapter for 13 years, where she has served as Chapter President, Chapter Vice President, and much more. Cornisha McGill Brown is a native of Thomaston, Georgia, and currently resides with her family in Columbus, Georgia. She is a graduate of Spelman College, where she received a Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science. She received a Master's of Education degree in Social Science Education from the University of Georgia. As an educator, servant, leader, small business managing partner, and philanthropist, Cornisha has spent the majority of her professional and personal life supporting and advocating for the youth in the community. Cornisha is a member of the Links Incorporated Columbus, Georgia chapter of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Inc. and Board of Directors of the Boys and Girls Club of the Chattahoochee Valley. Auxiliary of the Columbus Fort Benning Medical Society, Brookstone Parent Association Executive Board, Emmanuel Preparatory School Board, and the Women's Giving Circle for the Boys and Girls Club of Chattahoochee Valley. Cornisha is married to Dr. Darius K. Brown Sr., and they are both very proud parents of 2 children, Jordan Janae Brown and Darius Brown Jr. She and her family are active members of the New Birth Outreach Church in Columbus, Georgia. Lula Lunsford Huff. In the course of a life well lived, Lula Lunsford Huff has left her mark on politics, education, business, church, and community. History will record the highlights of her many works and achievements, especially those related to her service as Muskogee County Tax Commissioner from 1997 to present. Her more settled qualities or more clearly exit on the minds and hearts of those she has led and served. Lula's quiet soul comforts those around her. In humility, serve those she leads. The Serenity Prayer is her guiding life principle. Hard work is her consistent companion. Lula began her professional career as an accountant at the esteemed firm of Ernst & Young. In 1973, moved to the position of Chief Internal Auditor at the Consolidated Government of Columbus, Georgia. In 1976, she added the dual responsibility of instructor at Troy State University. In 1979, she gave her all to both positions for some 5 years. She left her position in the city in 1984 to join the internationally renowned Pratt & Whitney as a senior financial cost analyst, but she kept her position at Troy as well for another 5 years. By the time she left Troy State as an instructor and department head, she had been promoted to project analyst and supervisor at Pratt & Whitney, and then to plant controller still at Pratt & Whitney, but this time assigned to Southington, Connecticut. In 1992, she returned home as plant controller of the Columbus operations. Pratt & Whitney also appointed her business ethics and compliance officer. In 1995, Lula moved from Pratt & Whitney to assist the organization Precision Components International, Incorporated, as Chief Financial Officer. There she designed and implemented financial systems, achieved all financial targets including sales, cash flow, and capital requirements, and designed the entire financial and accounting function for the global joint venture between American-owned Pratt & Whitney and their Israeli partners. Lula decided to re-enter public service in 1997 and, in the countywide election, became the first African American to serve as Muskogee County Tax Commissioner. She has since been re-elected 6 times, largely in recognition over unparalleled achievements and dedication to the city's citizenry. As tax commissioner, Lula is responsible for collecting in excess of $135 million in tax revenue. Her professional and affiliations are numerous, including but not limited to Columbus State University Foundation Board of Secretary, Columbus, Georgia Chapter Delta Sigma Theta Public Service Sorority, Inc., past president, Columbus, Georgia Chapter of the Jack and Jill of America, Incorporated, past president, Charter J&J Teen Member, Chattahoochee Valley Community Foundation Board, past president, treasurer, Community Health Center of South Columbus Board, Georgia Society of CPA, Columbus, Georgia Chapter Links Incorporated, treasurer, the Links Foundation, Inc., past audit chair, Holy Family Catholic Church, lector, Mother Mary Mission, Inc., president, Riverdale, Porterdale Cemetery Foundation, Inc., president, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc., National Housing and Property Committee. Ms. Huff has a Bachelor of Arts with a major in management and minor in economics from Howard University, a Master of Business Administration with a concentration in accounting from Atlanta University, and is a certified public accountant. Lula is married to Charles E. Huff Jr., owner of Charles E. Huff International Funeral Home, and they have one daughter, Tamara Nicole Huff, MD, an orthopedic surgeon. The youngest of 4 siblings, Pat Hewley Green was elected to the Muskogee County Board of Education on July 20th, 2004 by 60% of the votes and is currently serving her 4th term. In 2017, Pat's colleagues elected her as the first African American female chair of the elected Muskogee County School Board. Currently, Pat serves as the president for the Georgia School Boards Association and chair of the Muskogee County School Board. Her previous roles during her tenure on the public school board have been vice chair, chaired the audit, finance, construction, and property committees. She is committed to the daily operations of the family business as a licensed insurance agent for Carolyn Hewley State Farm Insurance, where she also works as a student mentor coordinator. She recruits high school and college students to help develop them as a viable asset to the community workforce. Her commitment to education is demonstrated as a business member by partnering with her student work programs for those students who are not immediately entering a four-year college. Her education began with the Head Start program at J.D. Davis Elementary School in Columbus, Georgia, and continued to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree in Broadcast Communication from Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, North Carolina, and a master's degree in leadership from Tennessee State University, Nashville, Tennessee. She graduated with honors and member of Alpha Psi and Alpha Kappa Mu Honor Societies. Pat believes in volunteering her time and talent in the community and her church, Franchise Missionary Baptist Church. Pat serves her church on the trustee and deacon wives ministries and volunteers with her finance team. Pat served as a director of communications for the 2002 Alabama State Baptist Convention hosted by Franchise Missionary Baptist Church. Her public service continues through her life membership in Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Columbus Alumni Chapter, where she is the member of the Social Action, Educational Development, and Hostess committees. While chairing the social committee, she was awarded and recognized as a social activist for her efforts with the Meals on Wheels program, the Battered Women's Shelter, House of Mercy, and Friend of Foster Care. Currently, Pat partners with the Literacy Alliance in reading regularly to 2, 3, and 4-year-olds who need a little extra help in the Fresh Start learning. Pat's past community board services include the Family Center, the Muskogee County Library and Chattahoochee Valley Regional Library Boards, the West Georgia American Red Cross, and the Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education. Pat was a participant with the steering committee for Midtown Project Incorporated. Pat is married to firefighter Kevin Green. She remains focused on doing all she can for her children, Kevin and Kayla, so that they will grow to be productive, self-sufficient, and upstanding citizens. For Pat, service means giving oneself as an asset to others. Service requires you to go above and beyond for the greater good. Teresa White is a veteran in the financial services industry who currently serves as president of Aflac US. She is a visionary leader with a proven track record of optimizing operations, driving revenues, decreasing expenses, and building high-performance, diverse teams. She has driven business growth and leadership strategies that have improved Aflac's customer service, operational efficiency, and operational risk management, ultimately resulting in an improved shareholder value. Teresa is recognized as an expert in her field. Her current responsibilities include oversight of the company's extensive distribution of network of individual agents and brokers across the country. She is responsible for creating the vision for Aflac US and driving execution of long-term strategy while strengthening the low-cost model. She is the recipient of a number of awards, including Savoy's 2020 Most Influential Black Executives in Corporate America, New York Move's 2019 Power Women, Black Enterprise 2019's list of Most Powerful Women in Business for 4 consecutive years, the Most Powerful Executives in Corporate America, American Business Award, 2017 Bronze Stevie Award, the 2017 Distinguished Alumni Award from the University of Texas at Arlington, Girls Inc. of Columbus 2017 Strong, Smart, Bold Award, the Atlanta Business Chronicle's 2016 Women Who Mean Business list, and the Business Women's 2016 Women to Watch list, among others. Ms. White holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from the University of Texas at Arlington and a master's degree in management from Troy University. She is a fellow Life Management Institute, FLMI, and an alumna member of the Leadership Columbus. She is on the board of directors for Synovus Incorporated and is the chair for the board of governors of the Georgia Chamber of Commerce for 2021. She is also a member of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Kaggins. We are honoring an extraordinary woman known throughout the Chattahoochee Valley as a Christian, retired human resources executive, phenomenally successful volunteer leader, and a bridge builder. Mrs. Ann Kaggins was born in Columbus, Georgia, and has made the absolute best of all her more than 27,400 days on earth. She believes that everyone can bloom where they are planted and can be committed to a life of service and growth. She has lived by this mantra as a wife, mother, professional, and among others, wherever she has been. During her trailblazing career in government, corporate and nonprofit roles of increasing responsibility, she was once the first Chief of Human Resources and Director of Volunteers for the 70,000-member workforce of the 20-state Eastern Operations jurisdiction of the American National Red Cross, including the staffing for Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm War. She was also the first U.S. citizen local hire employment manager for the country of Korea, and she later served as the first human resources director for the Columbus, Georgia city government, and there were others. As her career extended around the world, Anne has maintained her Southern family values and warm hospitality. With her, people come first. She has balanced family, career, and volunteerism while supporting her husband and children at Army posts across the United States, as well as Europe, South Korea, Central and South America. You would be hard-pressed to find a volunteer leader portfolio as vast as Anne Caggins. You name it, she has done it, from leading in Officers' Wives Clubs, whereas she lived, to chairing her beloved Carver High School alumni projects, to leading her own class of 64 reunions and family reunions, to presiding over her neighborhood's homeowners association, supporting the local and national Spelman Alumni Association, chairing and supporting significant philanthropic and education endeavors, including the One Columbus Initiative, the Columbus UNCF Mayor's Masked Gala, the Columbus County School District Reach Initiative, the Chattahoochee Valley Boy Scouts of Georgia, the CVEM Mentoring Program, the Alzheimer's Association Memory Walk, the Black History Month Observant Breakfast, and is the architect of Circle Builders fundraising concept. By the grace of God, Mrs. Caggins has formed teams and encouraged others to a sterling track record of success with every endeavor. Her volunteer leadership gift is exemplary and highly sought after. Anne has been president, chairperson, or an executive board member for more than 25 years. Here is something you might not know about Mrs. Caggins. She was once a licensed beautician, and her first job was at Laura's Hair Salon near Howard University in Washington, D.C. Here, she carved out enough time to work with the Percola DeVore School of Charm and their Dress for Success program. It was a staple for all professional women in those days. She had continued to practice and share the value of development from the inside out. The takeaway was, clothes don't make the person. So how does she continue to give back? She continues to invest her God-given time, talent, and wise counsel in teaching and training younger people, especially women. She has mentored wives, homemakers, corporate executives, military officers, beauty pageant queens, TV personalities, educators, senior government officials, HR professionals, and volunteer leaders to realize their personal and professional potential. That is because she has direct experience and knowledge related to all those areas. Mrs. Caggins, affectionately known as Mrs. C, has been recognized with countless awards for her extraordinary service and leadership example within the Columbus, Georgia community and beyond, including the U.S. Army Commander's Award for Public Service, the Rosa Parks Woman of Courage of the Decade Award, and the National American Red Cross Tiffany Award, the Masked UNCF Award, the Jack and Jill Distinguished Mother Award, the Courier Eco Latino Community Service Award for philanthropy, the Columbus Times Head and Shoulders Above the Rest, and the Gracious Lady of Georgia Honor, to name a few. As some might know, Mrs. Caggins is a proud graduate of George Washington Carver High School, class of 1964. Went on to attend Spelman College, married Mr. Miles, graduated from Columbus Technical College in cosmetology, and is a graduate of Pepperdine University in Human Resource Management. She holds 2 professional HR certifications, served as HR certification instructor, and has other professional training and development certificates, too numerous to mention. She has simply mastered what she does. She and her husband, retired Colonel Miles B. Caggins Jr., love story began in Columbus while he was a lieutenant at Fort Benning and she was visiting home from Spelman College. That was 55 years ago. After he returned from assignment in Vietnam, they wed at Fort Benning's main post chapel. Years later, they were inducted into the Black Marriages Hall of Fame in Columbus. They placed Christ at their guide of live and life of service. At the Edgewood Church of Christ, Miles is a deacon, worship and visitation team leader, and a benevolent servant. For years, Ann has supported her husband in all of his work and encouraged younger Christian wives and mothers, honored older women, taught ladies Bible class and teenage girls seminar, maintained an ongoing prayer list, and is a servant of marriage enrichment. Of everything Ann has achieved, she remains humble and grounded in faith and family and giving all honor to God. Maya Angelou once said, "If I could give you one thought, it would be lift someone up. Lift up a stranger. Lift her up. The very idea of lifting someone up will lift you up as well." Well, that would be Ann Caggins. We are pleased to honor the disciplined young lady and your friend from East Carver Heights and George Washington Carver High School, who God allowed to travel the world and return home to serve her people and her community. Vivian Creighton Bishop, who attended Spencer High School, is the first African American female elected to a citywide post as the Clerk of Municipal Court. She recently retired after serving as the longest municipal court clerk for Columbus, Georgia, after serving 7 terms, a total of 28 years. No stranger to being first, after finishing high school in the Wartburg, Germany, Vivian moved to Atlanta, where she accepted a job as the Department of Education, Educational TV, becoming the first woman of color appointed as assistant to the director. After a 5-year stay in Atlanta, she moved back to Columbus at the opening of the Jack T. Rutledge Correctional Institution. She later became the first African American female to become controller of that institution and the State Employee of the Year for administrative support to the Department of Corrections, competing with more than 75 employees from across the state. Other firsts include the first African American female elected president to the prestigious First Ladies Club in Washington, D.C., with a membership of past First Ladies and heads of state. She had the honor of working with Hillary Clinton, Laura Bush, and Michelle Obama. In 2016, Creighton Bishop chaired one of Mrs. Obama's exit luncheons in Washington, D.C. Vivian was afforded the opportunity to appoint other women of color to this 100-year-old establishment and was given the honor of hosting the 100th birthday celebration with a membership of more than 800 women from across the U.S. and over 1,200 guests. She is also the first congressional spouse to invite more than 100 guests from the Columbus area to attend these events. Vivian is the spouse of Congressman Sanford Bishop Jr. She has 1 daughter, Aisha Reese, and 1 granddaughter, London Reese. Stay tuned. Vivian will soon put another crack in that ceiling. Our Lift Her Up Woman of the Year is the Honorable Vivian Creighton Bishop.
That's our program for this evening. Congratulations to all of our awardees. It is our hope that as we come out of this COVID pandemic, we will be able to meet in person next year. We want to thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to be with us this evening. And I'd like to thank our sponsor for the evening, Griffin & Griffin Towing. And a special thank you to Daryl Douglas with Zeridium Projects Design Studio, Kenneth Davis with Collage Graphics, and Demetrius Colson with Colson Photography. If you would like to purchase a magazine featuring this year's awardees, please visit our website at www.couriernews.org. Until next year, remember to encourage, inspire, and elevate. Good evening.